Welcome to Downright Sports Radio, the podcast, if you will. But this is the NBA Finals post-game show, game number 5, the Back to the Valley, if you will. By the way, I'm your host, the notorious sports critic, Brent Reid. Thank you for watching on Facebook Live. We much appreciate it, and thank you for listening. Tonight's game, the Milwaukee Bucks shocked the world. Can't believe it. I can believe it. I'm baffled. I picked the Suns to win in 6. That ain't gonna happen, so it looks like the Suns may end up winning in 7. Tonight, the Bucks, I gotta tell the story before I tell the points. The game started with the Bucks looking like this was going to be all Phoenix at one point. Where are my notes? Here we go. First, I'm going to do an outline for this. I'm just going cold turkey. So pretty much at the end of, at one point, in the first quarter, at the in the first quarter at the 4-minute mark, Suns was up by 10. At the 2:58 mark, all Suns, what I wrote down, score was 32-16. Can you believe that? At the end of the first quarter, the final score was 37-21. The vibe, the feel, if you will, was all Phoenix. Phoenix was looking good. Devin Booker was looking good. Chris Paul looking good. Everybody on the Suns came with their Sunday best on as they were looking amazing. They were dressed to the nines. They were ready to play, if you will. And then the second quarter came, and Milwaukee said, all right, we ready. We woke up. Because in the first, once that happened in the first quarter, clearly, when they traveled from Milwaukee all the way to Phoenix, what clearly happened was their game was stuck in customs. And obviously Phoenix was like really checking super hard to see what it was. It was looking for Chris Middleton's game. They were looking for Giannis's game. They were looking for Drew Holiday's game. They were just checking for everybody's game. And then their game jumped in an Uber, headed to the Phoenix Suns arena, ran through the locker room, and returned to the players. Return to the players. All right. In the second quarter, which I must be very clear. I've been doing 2 shows. I did 2 shows tonight, so I'm a little exhausted. So the second quarter, I saw a lot of the second quarter, and Milwaukee They didn't stop shooting the threes, but what they did was they used their bigs, they used their posts, they did a lot of driving to the basket, kicking out and getting the open man. They kind of have a 4-1 style of offense. One guy in the middle, one guy in the post, 4 players outside, 4 players moving around, looking basically dribble, drive, dish kind of style. And at one point in the second quarter, the Bucks led. The Bucks was basically on a 43-24 run. Like that they outscored Phoenix in the second quarter like that. Like out of nowhere, just appeared and was like, "Oh yeah, we here and we ready." Which to me showed, okay, Milwaukee came to play, but Phoenix is still at home. Then the third quarter came, and nothing seemed to have changed. Basically, from the second quarter on up until the fourth quarter, the Bucks had outscored Phoenix 79-53. Why is that? Well, what I've been saying this whole time, in order for Phoenix to win, in order for Milwaukee to win, in order for Milwaukee to get this W, Giannis is going to need help from the others. The others showed up tonight. Chris Middleton, another great performance. 29 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Giannis, 32 points. The first time he didn't get a double-double, but he had 9 rebounds, 6 assists, big assists. These weren't like frivolous tic-tac assists. These were big assists because every time he would drive to the basket, he would dish it. He would look for the open guy. He would move he was at one point, him and Chris Middleton were kind of the de facto point guards. They went with a lineup without a point guard. And then Drew Holiday has returned. Drew Holiday had not scored more than 15 points in any of the games. And tonight, 27 points, 13 assists, 4 rebounds, a key steal that I'm going to talk about in a second. A steal that may have changed the whole perplexity of the finals. It's in a different conundrum. One guy was on the trajectory of they were about to start building and naming sneakers and names and naming babies after him, to now he may be the GOAT. In the old days of sports, when a guy, I'll come back to it. I'll make a conscious decision to come back to it. They also got production out of Bobby Portis, 9 points. His rebounds were subpar, 3 rebounds, but excuse me. But those 9 points are key 9 points. You got to get it. And my man Pat came through. Pat was ready to shoot. He was hips down, hands ready to shoot as he dropped 14 points. A big 14, if you will. He went 4 for 6 from the 3 tonight. The Milwaukee Bucks from the 3, period, with 50% from 3-pointers, 14 for 28. How insane is that? They shot 50 for 87 from the field. Yeah, from the field. And they went 9 for 17 with the foul shots. That's pretty sad. But let's talk about Phoenix. What went wrong with Phoenix? Phoenix, who was getting turnovers from Milwaukee in the first quarter, which was the story, was creating all the chaos, was forcing them. Crowder started off red hot, a dunk here, 2 threes there. He really was looking like, all right, this is gonna be one of them kind of games. Bridges, 13 points for Bridges. He was starting to have a big. If I told you this, if I went back and if I didn't mention names, I didn't say a team, I said one team had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, all 5 players in double figures. 1 with 40, 2 with 20 or more, 1 with 13, and 1 with 10. Who would you say would have won? Well, I got news for you. 90% of you on my Facebook said it would have been the Phoenix Suns. All 90% of you were wrong because the Milwaukee Bucks won tonight. The Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul, who finally showed up and decided to score some points tonight. Chris Paul, 21 points, 3 for 4 from the field, from the 3-point line. But that's beside the point. Devin Booker, who was having the game of games. He was having the game that makes you the legend. Your team is down, you're scoring, you're consistently, but to me, still, he doesn't get enough touches. He does, like, there's key moments in the game where they're looking for others and not looking for him. When the team was down, but he made the move. They were down by 10. I remember. He was attacking the basket at will. Get out my way. I'm looking to attack. I'm trying to draw the fouls. And that's the other thing. They need to protect him. He had 5 fouls. When you start playing, you can't be in foul trouble. So that tells me one or two things. He's out of position each time. He's always playing catch-up, or he's playing a hell of a lot of help defense, and he's always the last guy there. Either way, that needs to change completely if they're going to try to win, and if they're going to try to win Game 6, and they're going to try to win Game 7. Because it don't matter if Devin's going to put up 40 or 50 if the team is not going to be there to help him out when necessary. Now, what are we going to... Now, Devin Booker has an opportunity. We're down the wire, 33 seconds left in the game, and we're looking like Devin Booker is about to become the hero. But he may have just became the GOAT. And the GOAT used to mean bad. Now the GOAT means good. It means greatest of all time. I'm going to call him the GOAT in bad. Charlie Brown, yeah. Because when that last possession, and you cannot, I repeat, you cannot turn the ball over there. Jrue Holiday picked up a crucial steal, taking the ball right out of Devin Booker's hands like he was a kid in a stroller and had a lollipop in his mouth and was just like, give me that, it's mine. Devin Booker has played fantastic offense in this postseason, but the question is, there's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, in scoring points versus just, there's a difference in scoring meaningful points versus just scoring unnecessary points. And his 40 points as of tonight turned into more of unnecessary. He needs more meaningful points. It's a shame the way it turned out tonight. It really is, because the Suns got big production Aiken, who has kind of been around the 10 to 7, 10 to 7. But, DeAndre Aiken showed up tonight in a big way for them, especially after getting that shot blocked in the last game, 20 points. But where I think he could have been more, he needs to be that true big man in the post. He's going to have to start 10 rebounds, 20 points ain't going to get it done in the finals if you're going to turn around and be the guy one day. He needed 35 points and about 15 to 18 rebounds is what he needed to make sure that this team could have won. It's important because he's as much as a key figure on the Suns as Chris Paul and as Devin Booker. And that's the other thing. If they're going to win, they're going to have to get more out of Chris Paul, who also had 5 fouls tonight. You can't have Paul, Aiken, and Booker 4, 5, and 5 from a foul perspective. These are your 3 key players. If you lose any of them, that's the part of the series. That's a wrap. It's a done deal. They're going to have to do a better job on defense. And when you're getting some of these fouls are sloppy fouls. They're last-second fouls. They're basically fouls that, little slap fouls here and there because you're getting beat on defense all the time, and you got to stop that. If you're going to try to win this thing, you better make sure that you're there, or that your feet are there, that you're ready, and that you're moving on there. You're moving with a sense of purpose. Instead, they're not. They're always reacting. When the series started, they were the team that was causing the Bucks to react. I'm going to give the Bucks head coach Budenholzer a lot of credit. He's made the adjustments. He's made the moves. He's not changed anything, but whatever speech he's giving, whatever motivation he's giving, the Bucks are feeling it. And they're really feeling that the momentum is all theirs now. And I feel they're going home. They came to Phoenix and they stole the series back. This was your chance. You are the best road team in the NBA. Now here's your opportunity to take a home victory and then go to Milwaukee and take the W. You let Milwaukee win 2 at home and then win another game on the road. What do they have to fear? They've seen your best. Devin Booker's put up 40 twice. Chris Paul has barely showed up. Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, they seem to be here. So, speaking of Chris Paul, before I wrap this up, it looks to me, and I don't want to, I'm watching from afar, but it looks to me that wall may have came, because he's looking a little tired. He's an older player. He's the oldest guy probably on the court. And he's looking like he can't, like he's stuck in mud a little bit. He's not moving as well as you would like him to see. Yeah, he put up 20 points, but they were hard fought 20. Could this be it? Is this it? If this is it, how do we look at Chris Paul? Him going to the finals this year puts him in a different category, puts him in a different conversation. Puts him in the same conversation with Patrick, puts him in the conversation with Charles, puts him in the conversation with Clyde Drexler. It puts him in the conversation with Stockton and Malone and Payton. Greats, not all time, but greats. He's a great. He will be considered a legend. You made it to the finals. You could punch that ticket. All those guys I named made it to the finals. All those guys I named lost in the finals. And who they lose to? Michael Jordan. Is Giannis the next Mike? Is this Giannis's league? Because the guy whose league was supposed to be was sitting courtside tonight. Which, by the way, LeBron, don't show up. Don't. No, you're better. You're bigger than that. The only reason why you should be at the finals, LeBron, is if you're playing. Do not be a spectator, son. You never saw Derek Jeter sitting at a NBA Finals game when he wasn't playing. You never saw Kobe at an NBA Finals game when he wasn't playing. You never saw no. I mean, you're still playing. You're still very productive. The only way you should be in the finals is if you're on the court playing. Now on the sidelines trying to recruit. Because I know what you were doing, LeBron. You out there trying to recruit. Ain't you fooling out here. Well, I got news for you. Ain't nobody joining that team. Now, we're going to talk about that on One Downright Sports probably in a few weeks. Speaking of, listen to this week's all new Downright Sports this Tuesday on DynastyRadioNY.com at 8 o'clock. Your number one, we have a very special interview on that show, so stay tuned. If you miss it then, you can catch it Thursday at 8 o'clock on DynastyRadioNY.com, or you can download the podcast at Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play. We much appreciate it. We'll be back Tuesday, or we're going to be wrapping it up, or we're going to be preparing for the must-watch Game 7. Hopefully we're wrapping it up, because these post games is wearing me out. So thank you all. Be safe. Facebook. Thank you for watching on Facebook. And as always, deuces.